So, as a personal trainer, I work with a lot of different types of clients with a lot of different goals and limitations. Each person comes to me with a unique experience of their bodies that I use to create a customized program tailored to their goals and needs. But fundamentally, the human body is similar across all individuals. And in a world of excess sitting and sedentary living, there is one exercise that I would recommend for most people to maximize the benefits of training and to prepare yourself for anything that life might throw at you. My name is Andrew Moore. I'm a personal trainer and movement coach from Toronto, Canada. My goal with this channel is to help people feel strong and connected to their bodies through training that supports real life. If that's something that interests you, maybe subscribe to my channel and keep up with what I'm putting out there in the world. So the exercise that I use with pretty much every one of my clients is the deadlift. It can be done with a barbell, a trap bar, a kettlebell, a dumbbell, or even a rock if you have one. It builds full body strength through multiple muscle groups and has direct carryover into situations that everyone will find themselves in at some point or another. A deadlift fundamentally involves lifting a weight off the floor to about hip height and then putting it back down again. This movement trains hip extension, which is crucial because when you're sitting all day in a chair and your back is supported by the chair, all the muscles on the posterior side of your body aren't really engaged. The deadlift helps to train these muscles in the way they were meant to be used so that if you do have some sort of sedentary job, it can help to offset some of the effects of sitting for long periods of time. It is fundamentally a hip hinge movement. So for somebody who, for whatever reason, has trouble getting down to the floor, something like a Romanian deadlift might work as an alternative. If your goal is more power and athleticism over strength, then maybe something like a kettlebell swing might be a little more appropriate. But at the end of the day, they all train similar muscle groups. But the reason that I like the deadlift so much as somebody who works with the general population is the ability to train the body as a unit to lift heavy loads. As an aside, heavy is actually a relative term and means different things to different people based on age, training experience, and goals. So whatever feels heavy to you is heavy. As a compound exercise, it's hard to beat the full body engagement of the deadlifts. It trains multiple muscle groups, including your hamstrings, glutes, low back, core, upper back, shoulders, and grip. Learning to connect all these muscle groups to achieve a common goal is actually pretty difficult if you've never done it before. And it can create a sense of connection between mind and body when approached in the proper way. Many people do hesitate to deadlift, and I think we've been conditioned to fear any sort of low back engagement with exercise, particularly if you have a history of low back pain. So I'll just say there is absolutely low back engagement with the deadlift, and the post-exercise soreness and low back fatigue from doing things like deadlifts or Romanian deadlifts can create anxiety in someone who has a history of low back pain. But at the end of the day, trying to eliminate low back engagement in something like the deadlift is a bit of a fool's errand. You should aim to emphasize your hips and your hamstrings in the movement, but ultimately your low back will be involved and you shouldn't be afraid of some low back engagement. Anecdotally, I've had a lot of clients say they feel a lot stronger and more capable in their everyday life after doing deadlifts. A lot of them feel like they are less likely to throw their back out when carrying something heavy. Right now it's early November, so Halloween was just last week. I have a client who told me about how they felt that training the deadlift made it easier for them to lift up heavy pumpkins that they were moving, I guess, as they were getting ready for Halloween decorations. Putting it into context of everyday life, you will have to pick up something heavy from the floor, and training the deadlift in the gym gives you a mental checklist to go through when you do have to lift a pumpkin or even move a couch. And going through that mental checklist can give you some confidence that you're not going to tweak something or throw your back out doing these things that our bodies were basically designed to do. As for hypertrophy, the deadlift might not be the best exercise for building bigger glutes and hamstrings, but it does build absolute strength, which when paired with something like a Romanian deadlift or a hip thrust or a kettlebell swing can actually help aid in hypertrophy. But on its own, because you're picking up the weight from the floor and ending on the floor, and because the effort is spread so across the body, you might have other exercises that work better for something like hypertrophy. So anyways, that's the end of my love letter to the deadlift. It's not absolutely necessary, but I do think everybody should do some form of hinge variation in their workout programs because the benefits do carry over into everyday life. And even if you were to just train something like a Romanian deadlift or a kettlebell swing, practicing using your glutes to help extend your hips will ultimately carry over into everyday life. So if you like this video, maybe consider subscribing to my channel, maybe sign up to my email list. The link is in the description below, and I'll talk to you next time.